Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. And today my project for you is this little gift box here. I made this for a blog hop last weekend. And the theme was a 3D project. I had to get my thinking cap on, as a lot of you will know, but I'm much more of a card maker than a box maker or bag maker or 3D project maker. But I remembered making this self-closing box at an event that I went to when I first joined Stampin' Up, which is 4.5 years ago, and it was at a team training event. And there it is, September, it wasn't quite when, yeah, it was when I joined in the June, and this was September 2016, and this was designed by Michelle Last, who is a Stampin' Up designer, a demonstrator in the UK, and I've been meaning to make it ever since 2016, so I'm finally getting round to it. So I've changed it up a little. When we did it with Michelle, we had some embossed paper in the catalogue, so we just made it with that embossed paper, and didn't put any panels on. I've changed it up a little bit. I've put some panels on mine, just to make it a bit more interesting. I couldn't emboss a sheet big enough with the embossing folders to get just a whole sheet. So anyway, let's get on. So first of all, I'm going to make, unusually for me, I'm going to make exactly the same project. So usually I change something about it, but I'm going to actually remake exactly the same today. So we need a piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 6. Now don't do what I did, which was, first of all, I put it in my and chopped it down to 6, and then realised that this way is not 8.5. So you need to do the 8.5 cut the long way. So it's 8.25 this sheet, and you need 8.5. So you're going to have to use, so you won't get 2 of these out of an A4 sheet, unfortunately. Although you probably could play around with the measurements a little bit and get a smaller size and make it fit. And then this way is going to be 6 inches. And actually, if I bring my arm down, because the 6 inches is exactly where it butts up there, so you can make sure that you've got it nice and straight. Right, there we go. That's all we need at the moment. And what we are going to do is we're going to bring in our scoring board. As you notice, I'm working in inches today. Sometimes I work in centimetres. Today I'm working in inch. I'm having an inches phase at the minute. So I'm going to put it long ways. I'm going to put it vertically, and I'm going to score it at 1, and then turn it round and score it at 1 again. Obviously you could do it at 1 and 5, but just whatever you do, you need an inch from each side scored. And then you want to turn over, and you're going to score at 2, 4, 6 and 8. Is that right? No, it's not. You're going to score at 4 and 8. Sorry. And 8. I've only made one of these, so I'm actually reading the instructions as I go. 4 and 8. And then you're going to score down on here, on just the top bit, to from the 2-inch mark just down to the score line, and at the 6-inch mark just down to the score line, like so. And then we are going to do some scoring of diagonal lines. So I'm not going to do that on my trimmer. I'm going to bring in my foam mat just to give me a bit of give when I do this, and I'm going to bring in a ruler. Use my metal ruler so that it doesn't slip. And what we're going to do, so from where, I don't know how well you can see this on time, but this is where the 2-inch mark was, and it meets the fold there. So from that junction there down to this cross here, which was right in the middle of the card, down to where that inch score line was, you're going to do a diagonal. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. So from where we measured in 2 inches from this 1-inch score line, from there, and then this is going to be right down to the edge where it goes off. So meet that score line right at the edge, like so. And then we're going to do the same on the other panel. So we're going to, from the 6-inch mark down to the crossroads here, and And I will put a picture on my blog so that you can see what we are doing. And this is going to go down to there. There we go. Right, I don't know how well you can see that in the camera. Let me try and jiggle that so that you can see those score lines. Can you see them? Right, okay. So we're just going to burnish before we do anything else. I'm going to burnish there. We're not going to burnish that. Oh yes, we are. We do need to burnish that one. And then we're just going to do the ones going this way, like so. And then we're going to wait. I need to cut. So what we're going to do is we are going to, if we have it round this way, we're going to cut all of these flaps here with a slight wedge. This is going to form the base of our box. So just wedge out a little tiny bit. These flaps are going to bend in and be the base of our box. There we go. And then, so I've just cut off that last little bit and put a diagonal, and then I'm going to do the same at this corner, so a little diagonal cut, and cut this section off as well, because we don't need those sections. Need to cut this one, but straight down, don't wedge this one. And then what we can do is go back in and burnish, because we've now cut those cut lines, and so we can do those diagonals and burnish those. Really ought to do more boxes. They're not that hard. I get a bit scared about doing boxes, but they're really not that tricky, are they? Right, okay, so that's what we end up with. Now what's going to happen is this is going to join to there, and then those bits are going to flap over. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a bit there. And I'm going to use seal today, if I can find it. Did I put it away? Oh, that's not seal. I was going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus if I could find it. I've had it out today, so it should be here. Here it is. I was going to say I've had it out today already. So I'm going to put a little bit of Seal Plus, which is very easy to use because it's like lots of little, she says, and now it won't get started. Why is that not working? There we go. Needed to move it around a little bit more than I thought. Right, and can you see that's on there? And that's a nice sticky adhesive, and then you fold over in the middle joint and then just fold. There we go. Now I'm not going to use that anymore because when it comes to the base you just need to be quite careful. So what we need to do, the base, so we've now got, so we started off with that shape, and now if you fold it, if you push it, you've got that shape, and this base needs to form a square. So maybe push 2 in and then 2 on top. But we need to make sure that it's standing straight on the ground. So you just need to jiggle around a little bit until you get that flat. There we go, there, like so. That's how we want it to stick. Okay, so I'm going to use Tombow because I know that that will give me some wiggle room if I don't get it quite straight to start with. And of course, haven't really got anything here to apply any pressure. So I'm going to put it down and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to push my ruler in there to hold, just to give some pressure there. You could use, I'm trying to think what else you could use. You could use a rolling pin, I suppose. Anything that's just going to add a little bit of pressure there to keep that flat while you're gluing. There we go. There we go. And you will just need to hold that in place until that is absolutely perfectly dry. As you see, it's still slipping for me, and you just need a little bit of time. Just going to do that with the ruler again, making sure it's flat. And just, oh, hang on, what's the matter? There we go, that's better. It was completely wonky. Just keep that there. So you could use seal to do this, but you need to be sure that you get it in the right place the first time. So the wet glue is better, but it's just that you need to add a little bit of time for that to dry. So I'm going to hope, just wondering if there's anything heavy. Oh, I know what I could put in it. I wonder if this will fit. I've got a bottle of Prosecco here that I'm working on making a... Oh, perfect. Look, I can put that in there for the moment, and that will hold that down while we do some of the other work. And then when we come back to it, hopefully that will be dry. Right, okay, so to do the panels, you need a piece of emboss. So I've used the Winter Snow embossing folder, and I've got a piece here that I've embossed that is 3 7/8 inch square, and I've marked the center of one side. So if it's 3 7/8 square, that's at 1 5/16. And what we're going to do is we are going to cut from the dot down to the corner, and then the other side as well, from where I've marked it down to the corner. I'm going to do it on my little trimmer. Of course you can do it on our other trimmer, or you could even do it with a ruler and a craft knife if you feel happier. You might feel happier marking it with a pencil to make sure that you cut it in the right place. So that's that one, and then again this time. So I'm lining up the point there and the point there. Of course you could just make the box as one in Designer Series paper, and then you wouldn't have to worry about the panels. Now also you could do panels for the back of the box as well. I'm not going to do that today, but you could do another one of those. So 3 7/8 square, mark at 1 15 inches on the top, and then cut the 3 triangles. Right, let's hope that my bottle of Prosecco has done the trick. It's marvellous, marvellous thought of mine. There we go. That's quite fairly soon. Right, there we go. That's good. Okay, so these panels are going to glue. Oh no, that's better. That's fine. Thought I'd done them the wrong way round for a minute. There we go. That's going to glue on there. That's going to glue on there. And that's going to glue on there, like so. So a little bit of Tombow. I'll glue that on here. I wanted a very, very little bit of the balmy blue showing. So if you want, you can do these panels a bit smaller if you want a bit more of the balmy blue showing. Obviously you can moderate that a little bit. Sizes that I've given you will make it make very, very small margin to be seen, but you could do all sorts. There we go. That's good. And then the last one is going on here, like so. Put some glue on there. And then I just cut another piece of card to put at the top. I didn't think it looked right leaving that balmy blue. I have seen some versions of this where they've left that, but I wanted to fit it. So my piece measures 13/16 by 3 13/16 to go along the top there. So like that, and that's going to go on there. So a slightly bigger border around that one. If you want a smaller border, of course, just alter the sizes as you like. Really pretty, this winter snow embossing folder. I didn't buy it at first, but I'm really pleased I did. It's going to be one that stays in my collection. It's quite a lot of stuff I have to get rid of because otherwise I wouldn't have room in my craft room, but I do have a collection of things that I love that I can't bear to get rid of and I haven't used enough. There we go. That's our box made. Now the decoration, what I did was I took 3 snowflakes from the So Many Snowflakes dies. I had one in balmy blue, this one. I had one, no, actually I had this one in silver on the one that I made. Today I'm going to use white, and then the silver one is going to be the smaller one in the middle. So there are the 3 snowflakes that I used, if you want to look at those and work out which ones to use from your set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big dimensional, oh, I've cut that out of something that's been printed on it. Doesn't matter, we're not going to see it. Put a big dimensional in the middle of the second biggest one. Now those dimensional will show through a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. And then you need to position this centrally so that the arms of the snowflake are between the blue ones, so like that. And then this one is going on there. I'm going to use a smaller dimensional if I can find my dimensionals, which might be a task. I've been doing loads of filming and making and haven't tidied anything up this afternoon. So, where are my dimensionals? There they are. After this video, I really must tidy up. I don't think I can get any more mess in my room if I tried. I have tried to keep the space that you can see nice and tidy, and the rest of my room is shocking. But my husband has offered to cook tea tonight, so or dinner. So I can carry on crafting and get finished. And then this one is going to line up with the blue. So you want the arms lined up with the blue this time. And then to finish off and to cover up most of those dimensionals, I'm going to use these are our adhesive blue gems, and they've got a very nice iridescent look to them. I like the pale ones with balmy blue. I think the bigger ones the darker ones would look nice with night and navy, or even pretty peacock, but I quite like these with the balmy blue, so I just did that. And then I just put a bit of glue on the back of the glitter, the balmy blue glimmer paper one, and stuck that on the front. I wonder if anyone's got any good ideas of what you could put in these. I'm thinking chocolates or sweets or something like that, but I wonder if anyone's got anything more inventive that we could think of for putting in these. It would be nice to use these for packaging for Christmas presents. I suppose little toiletries would fit in here. Maybe small, you know, travel size toiletries. Not that anybody needs travel size at the minute. Right, there we go. That's that. And then lastly, again, you can't get much purchase on this snowflake, so you might need to pop it open and just push it down a bit. Just need time for the glue to dry. Right, okay, and then we need the bow, and I'm using the Snowflake Splendor. Can you see how lovely and iridescent this ribbon is? And I just tied a little bow, which inevitably will go wrong while I'm on camera, because they always do. Oh no, that's not bad, that's not bad. There we go. Pull it to the size that you want it. Like so, make sure it's nice and tight. This ribbon is not ever so easy to tie bows out of. It's quite stiff, it's not got much flexibility. So you do have to be quite rough with it. There we go. That's my bow. I'm going to trim off the ends. And then I'm going to take 3 little, just keep gluing that down until the glue sticks. A few little glue dots. And put them on the back of my bow. I think this is the best way to stick a bow, especially of this fabric. And although it's quite see-through, you don't see the glue dots through this, so it's fine. One there. And I might just put one on each of the tails as well. It's amazing how many different glues you need when you're crafting, isn't it? So I've used seal, I've used Tombow, I've used glue dots, I've used dimensionals. So when you start crafting, you think, oh, I'll only need one glue. Actually, there are different glues for different purposes. Right, that needs to be central and just glued down like so. There. And the joy of this box is you can just put a little bit of pressure on the sides here and it pops open, and then when you pop it back it just seals itself again. So it's a quite sweet little box. Doesn't work quite as well with these layers of card on it, and I'm wondering if it would work better if I just did it with one layer of cardstock, but actually I quite like this and it works well enough. It's closed, you can see. So hope you've liked my little tutorial showing you how to make the box. Where's the other one? So like I said, 2 identical projects, which is very, very unlike me. I usually change up the colours, but I just like this one so much, and I think one will be for my sister-in-law and one for my sister, so I've got a purpose in mind for these. Don't forget to use my code if you're thinking about buying any of the products that I've used today, or actually anything else from my shop. SEHJX6GN is the November code. Pop it in the host code box as you're ordering. And then I can send you a free product gift. I send all my customers a thank you package during the next month after their order. So you all get a little handmade gift, you all get a handmade card and a bit of a chatty note, little letter from me. But if you all use the code, you also get a product gift. So that's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this project. Please do join me again, and I'll be sharing lots of other things. I still have lots of Christmassy projects to share with you, so please join me then. But until then, have a wonderful day and I will see you soon. Bye.